when you desire something and you practice thinking about what it is and why you want it, and you train yourself into the vibrational alignment of it, which is what we call pure expectation. When you are in a place of expecting that which you have asked for, when that expectation is pure, the universe must deliver it to you. We want to remind you that there is a stage of life. We've been saying to you step 1, step 2, step 3. Step 1 is contrast causes you to ask, and you all know that so well. The asking part emanates from you easily. Step 2 is source answers it, but we want to say that to you in a new way for you to hear. Source not only hears your request and answers it, but the non-physical part of you becomes the vibrational equivalent of what you've asked for. So every time you amend it, that asking is answered in greater depth, which means there is a vibrational environment that is becoming, that is the perfect reflection of all that you have become as a result of who you lived before you got here and everything that you've asked for along the way. For example, if you don't have enough money, you ask for more, and every time you ask, a vibrational escrow, we've begun to call this a vibrational reality, is amassing for you. And sometimes when we talk about this vibrational reality, our physical friends who are so rooted in reality, knock on wood, stuff, blood, flesh, bone reality, that you don't really want to hear about this vibrational forming. But we want you to know that everything that you see, this earth that spins in its orbit in perfect proximity, everything that you see was a vibrational reality first. And if it were not for the vibrational reality, what you know as the reality that you are now all agreeing upon could not be either. So don't take lightly this vibrational reality, because it is the formation of who you will become as soon as you learn to allow it, you see. Circumstances and events are being arranged. So this is the way we want you to see this. This is the best description that we can give you, and it is vibrationally accurate in every way. There is no distortion in this story that we are giving you. If you can wrap your thoughts around this, you will come a long way into understanding the creative genius that you are. So life causes you to ask for something that you don't have. That's why you're asking. In fact, this experience is so annoying to you that you are asking loudly while gritting your teeth. I want it, I want it, I want it. In fact, it's come up often enough that you've asked a lot for this. In that asking, the non-physical part of you embraces the asking, and because the expectation of source knows that being or doing or having is just a matter of asking and not offering a vibration that contradicts it. So when you ask, the source part of you becomes what you have asked for. Then all day, every day, you keep asking, you keep amending. And what we want you to understand is that this source energy becoming, as a result of what you keep asking for, keeps up moment by moment by moment by moment by moment with what you're asking for. So it is accurate to say your life is causing you to cause a formation of the larger part of you having constant expansion. So think about this expansion. Can you feel it? Can you get the sense of this expansion? Can you feel how you in your life is causing this expansion? And here's the thing that we most want you to hear. That expansion is happening whether you know that it is or not. And when you are keeping up with it, with your own personal expectation, then there's no vibrational variance between who you have become and who you're letting yourself be in this moment. And when there's no vibrational variance, you are offering one signal, and when you're offering one signal, you feel good, you feel clear-minded, you feel worthy, you feel frisky, you feel enlightened, you feel enlivened, you feel exhilaration, you feel passion, you feel an eagerness, you feel a clarity and a certainty. You are in your power, you are love, you have confidence, you are charismatic, you have attraction power. In other words, you are in the zone, you are who you are. That's what tuned in, tapped in, turned on is. You are you, you are you, you are you. You are up to speed with you. You ask and you kept up. You ask and you kept up. That is life at its fullest and its best. But what about when you ask And the larger part of you becomes, but then you don't believe what you've asked for. You keep pointing out that you don't have it. Where is it? I ask, where is it? Abraham must be nuts. Where's my stuff? I've been asking, where's my stuff? Where's my stuff? I've been asking, if I am so worthy, if I am such an extension of source energy, where's my stuff? And here's what we want you to understand. It is amassing vibrationally, and it is as real as anything that you know is reality. And these are the words that we want you to always remember if you are inclined to follow this train of thought. Everything that is vibrationally compatible is being called by law of attraction into beingness in this vibrational reality. So the circumstances and events, the funding, everything necessary for the culmination of what you're asking for is already amassing. It's already amassing. Everything that is compatible, everything that is cooperative, and by cooperative we mean vibrationally compatible. So now you want to ask yourself, where am I? Am I vibrationally compatible? Do I believe it or doubt it? If I believe it, I'm vibrationally compatible, which means I've been sucked into that vortex and I'm in there where everything that's being amassed is. So I'm having experiences. I'm hooking up. I'm having rendezvous. Ideas are coming to me. Good things are unfolding. I'm in the flow. People who are watching me are saying, what's going on with you? It seems like you hardly even get it out of your mouth, and someone puts it in your hand. You're like a creational genius. You seem to get everything you want. It's not fair. You get everything you want and I don't get anything that I want. And you say, I got in the vortex. I got in the vortex. Well, how'd you get in? I want in. I'm not in there. I don't get anything I want. How'd you get in the vortex? Where's the door? How'd you get in? How'd you get in? What vortex? What's a vortex? And how'd you get in? And how come everything works for you and it doesn't work for me? And you say, I trained myself into the vortex. How did you train yourself into the vortex? Well, first of all, I imagined what it would feel like to be in there. I imagined what it would feel like to be the receiver of the things that I want. And I imagined it so often, it was hard for me to imagine otherwise. I trained myself vibrationally into the expectation or the belief of what I wanted. And when I became a cooperative vibrational component, then I, along with everything necessary to give me everything that I want, ended up in the vortex, and now life is easy for me. I just say, oh, wouldn't that be nice? And someone gives it to me. I say, oh, I really appreciate that, and it happens again. I hang out in my vortex because good things happen in there. So the art of allowing really is about awareness of this vibrational reality, vibrational acuity about where I am vibrationally. In other words, this inside that vortex, it feels like love and certainty and stability, and outside of it, it feels like fear and doubt, and inside of it feels like powerful, and outside of it feels like powerless, and inside of it feels like love, and outside of it feels like hate. And of course we're being extreme in our description, because you can be lurking on the border of the vortex in an attitude of hope and occasionally get swept in and something good will happen. But if you are not at least hanging out about the things that matter to you in the vicinity of hope, then you're one of those out there probably screaming to the skies, where's my stuff? Noting the injustice of those who are living what looks like a beneficial life in comparison with those who look like they are not. And then the stories you write from outside the vortex, the number of books you have written from out there, it is just amazing as you describe the screwiest of explanations of why things aren't going better for you. You were born in the wrong kingdom. The king who had the power cursed you. Your mother didn't treat you right. You must have been bad in a past life. The stories go on, but without exception, you innately know something is wrong when I don't feel good, because the broader part of you knows that you are supposed to feel good, that you are love. So when you find someone who disobeys you or disappoints you or deliberately defies you or just is so disconnected that they just seem to take delight in making your life worse, when you find someone like that and you give your attention to them in a way that brings you outside the vortex, we can see how in time you would lose your sense of power, because it feels like if they'd stop doing that, you'd stop having that response. So then as people, you get pretty good at attempting the impossible. You try to control the conditions so that you can feel better. And we want you to leave this gathering with this new freedom flowing through you, with a new lilt in your step and lightness in your heart and smile on your face and twinkle in your eyes. We want you to return to the knowledge that not one other person on the planet or not one other circumstance on the planet has to change at all in order for you to get in the vortex. And when you get that your singular job now, you see, life has inspired you to put things in that vortex. You have put enough there to keep you busy for 20 or 30 lifetimes. You don't need to keep seeking out more contrast in order to expand. You've expanded way beyond anything you planned for this one lifetime. We're not kidding you. You have done your step one. You will probably continue to do step one, but you have done step one. Step two has been done too. The amassing, the assimilating, the bringing together, the culminating, the lining up of circumstances and events. It's done too. It's done, 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 it's done. If you would let 100% of your attention and emphasis be, for the rest of the days of your life, be, get in the vortex, get in the vortex, get in the vortex. In other words, nothing matters other than the way I feel. And the way I feel is dependent upon the thoughts I think. And I can think my way into closer and closer proximity of the vortex. If I'm doubtful, I can be wishful, and wishful is better than doubtful. If I'm wishful, I can be hopeful, and hopeful is better than wishful. If I'm knowing or believing, that's better than hoping. In other words, you can train yourself bit by bit into the vortex, into the vortex, into the vortex. You have to do the work to bring yourself into the releasing of resistance and into the raising of allowance. In other words, nothing is more important than that you feel good.